Let me
Let me
read
leave
real
real
fast
fast
again.
again.
Let me mute let me see if what I did over there. Okay, I hear something. Now I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Are
can
we
hear you.
good?
Yeah.
All right, cool, 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 cool.
I don't
All
know
right.
what happened.
No, we're good. It's all good. Perfect. All right. Uh, I'll kind of just give you a little background. Well, nice to meet you first off, Carlos. Nice to meet you.
You too, Ryan.
Yeah, so I'll kind of just give you a little background for my sake and where I'm kind of from and how I got here. But um, so I'm a graduate of the University of Kansas. This
Right.
past May. Just graduated. I was in our athletic department for like the development and like donor relations side for
Nice.
as an intern there for my last semester of college, and then kind of had a gap in between
Hmm.
like the job that I just recently accepted and graduating. So I'm going back to KU for ticketing and fundraising. So I'm
Nice.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, excited about that. But in the meantime, that offer kind of came later on, like just a couple weeks ago. Just a couple weeks ago. So, in between like May and I would say like late July, I was kind of just like, what can I do to capitalize on being at KU and the athletic department, and then how can I kind of grow as a person? And I thought of kind of just starting this podcast series where I'm just sitting down with people in collegiate athletics and just getting advice from them, all different backgrounds, all different types of people. I've a lot of athletic director or associate athletic directors, assistant athletic directors, a couple recruiters, NIL people that I kind of just handle NIL and stuff. So I kind of just wanted to get a background and kind of some guidance and advice from people just around the industry, and kind of just sit down, talk about their career and their job, and just so other people, not just myself, but other people kind of in my shoes or in college can learn from and get that free advice. So I thought this was a great idea, and I'm excited about this one today.
Yeah, this is cool, man. So props to you for doing this. I know it's not easy, dealing
Yeah.
with the technical difficulties, but also messaging people, taking the time out your
Yeah.
day, writing questions. So man,
Hmm.
big props to you, man, for what you're doing. And I can definitely see you doing big things later on in your career. So you're definitely
Hey,
on the right path, man. I'll say that for sure.
yeah, I appreciate it. The first step's always the hardest, I think, and just
Yeah.
getting myself to do this, and then like reaching out, and I'm kind of just like or cold calling in a sense on
Yeah.
LinkedIn and kind of connecting, and then asking to, hey, you don't know me, but do you want to hop on this
Yeah.
podcast? Luckily, I have done about 15 of these or so
That's good. Yeah.
since I started, so I'm getting a lot more comfortable, and, now that I have some product out there, people aren't just like, "Who are you?" or like, "Where
Yeah.
are you coming from?" But, glad to have a couple out, and, I just wanna continue this kind of kinda just series of free advice and guidance to people in college, maybe recently graduated, maybe looking to get into sports if they're already down the line, like kind of you have, and we'll get to that. But if you kind of just want to go through your career, and I know it's a unique one, coming as
Yeah.
a different side of sport, different side of I guess we could say production, but and then kind of crossing over into college. But if you want to go through your career a little bit.
Yeah. I'll quickly go through that. So name's Carlos Jimenez Salgado. Really graduated from CSUN, where I currently work right now, my alma
Mm.
mater, in 2015. So I graduated there with a TV production degree because I really wanted to do TV production work. Originally, I moved out here from Orange County to LA to do music videos. So that was like
Mhm.
one of my first goals to do that. And then eventually, once I graduated, found my way at Fox Sports through one of my classmates. He helped me get an interview there. People that live in LA, they always say it's all about who you know. So that definitely was the case in my part because, luckily I was able to find someone that worked there and is one of my best friends down here. So, after working at Fox Sports transition, my first couple months transitioned from the production department to the marketing department
Mhm.
and operations. So what operations means in the grand scheme of things of Fox Sports and marketing is we're really the people that were asking the producers to which promos are assigned to, what they need to work on, whether it's the NFL, NASCAR, Big Ten football, or Big East basketball. We were the ones who were creating these project management templates in our system. and then assigning them to each producer, editor, whatnot. And then also making sure we have VO tags and making sure that what we call end cards or end plates, and those are like, August 28th, CSUN
Yeah.
volleyball, Friday, CSUN volleyball, making sure we get all those tags so we can use it in marketing materials. So that was a cool way to start my career and just being in there. So working my way in the marketing department, eventually transitioning over to the Fox Sports regional networks. And these were your local networks. Not you said you're in Kansas. I don't know what we had any out there, but for instance,
Yeah.
if you live in Wisconsin, we had Fox Sports Wisconsin. They had all the Milwaukee Bucks games,
Fox
and
Sports Kansas City. Kansas
yeah,
City's like
Kansas
I
City.
live
Oh,
like
that's
30
right,
minutes
Kansas
away.
City. So you'll have the Royals. We had Fox Sports Midwest out there. So the St. Louis Blues. So we're creating all different promo materials for the editors to run because we're really, really a lean team. So I was part of the team that will create all these different templates and all different marketing materials that all these different entities could use. I think it was like think 20 something RSNs that we had. So we were
Mhm.
just really just focused on the best way to have them, create brand consistency, promos, and then making sure that everything was aligned from, a brand perspective and overall grand marketing plans that we're creating. And eventually doing that, worked my way up to a senior manager, did a giant rebrand to Valley Sports. So played a key role in that. It was definitely cool to be part of a rebrand. That's like every marketer's dream. So
Mhm.
it was definitely a lot of nights going up till like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., and doing the same thing over for like 3 months straight. So it was definitely a
Mhm.
lot of work, but it was cool to see just all the media coverage, all the different marketing materials that we saw on air. And we were even at the Time City Square at one point too with the giant marketing material. I think the day
Nice.
the day that we launched,
Yeah.
and then finally once we got done with that, 2 or 3 years later, saw an opportunity to come back to my alma mater in a bigger role. So, I was a senior manager at Valley Sports, saw an associate athletics director role open at Cal State Northridge in their athletics department for marketing. I never
Mhm.
worked in college athletics other than my internships when I was here. I was doing camera work, filming the games when I was a student here 10 years ago. But this was really my first forefront into creating marketing strategies, plans, getting people to buy tickets, attend games, and just building a community and relationships with season athletics in the San Fernando Valley area. Saw that as an opportunity and jumped on it. Been here for, yeah, about 2 years now. So just, my 2 year anniversary was like last month. So it's crazy
Nice.
how time flies over here.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's a very unique story in the sense of other people that I've kind of talked to, kind of see like they go through ticketing or others go through like an assistant role, then they like climb the ranks. But you took the production side, which is
Yeah.
very interesting and very unique. And with that production degree, and then going into seems like you kind of bridge from like production to like marketing to
Yeah.
where you are now, and it's super cool. What got you into production in the first place, kinda getting that degree and going down that line of Fox Sports and Valley? How did you kinda get into production?
Yeah, so I used to be a communications major, when in my early days of college. I was in a community college and I transferred over to CSUN once I was ready for that. But yeah, early on I was a communications major, but as many college students do or young people do when they're trying to figure out things, I kind of gravitated towards more of a production side because I really liked, hip hop music videos at the time and really all the different creative ways those were coming out. And then I was just like, wow, this can be really a field. And I was really just interested in the entertainment side and everything. So I started taking classes at Santa Ana College and Santiago Canyon College down in Orange County. And they had a really good program for being at a community college. We had like a really nice TV studio was part of the journalism department where we actually either we could do reporting or we could do behind the camera work and film a weekly studio of a news program ran by students that actually aired on Time Warner cable channel. So every week
Oh,
we're responsible for creating a story, making sure our reporters are out there getting news coverage and making sure we're running on the technical side with audio, video work. So that to me was really fun and exciting. I was like, wow, I can't believe I can actually get a job doing this stuff. So that's how I first got into it. Just word of mouth through a friend of mine that was taking these classes. I was like, let me look into this, and it was cool. We took
yeah.
screenwriting classes. We watched movies during class and analyze them and do a lot of video essays and all that. So this was like early 2012, 2011. So I was really starting to see the power of media and how people can really use that to really build a story and really use that on social media as well too. This was like, I remember early Instagram days too. So now to see like how it truly evolved, I feel like I made the right choice.
No doubt, especially getting into it, prior, like, the early 2010s and seeing
Yeah.
how it's just boomed since, and, like, now every day Instagram, like, at least I mean, I use all those every day, and I know everyone pretty much everyone else does, and it seems like it just, like, is part of our lives now, but going into, like, the earlier transition into, like, college athletics, how did you feel? How like, you had a little bit experience in marketing. Transitioning into college sports, how was that adjustment? Any challenges, any difficulties?
Yeah, for me, the biggest challenge was that, and I think a lot of people have the same issue when they're at a mid-major. I can't speak really to all the Power Five schools, but for me, the biggest challenge was just all the different events that we had, not only athletic events, but also different partnership events that we have throughout campus. So that was a big change for me, and just figuring out the work-life balance part. Luckily, I don't live too far from where I work, so I traded my work from home job to like a 10-minute commute, so it wasn't truly bad at all. So
Mm.
that was a big adjustment for me, just going to all these different events, scheduling our different interns, and making sure we have support at these events. But for me, now I this is my third year going into it. It's just now we know what's coming ahead, how to pace ourselves throughout the 9 month season, and really, which games that we're really marketing and really putting a big strategy emphasis on, particularly like the theme nights that we have. And then also just being in charge of the marketing department. That was like a big change for me because I was always supporting or had someone that I'm reporting to. I do have someone I report to, but it's really me as the head of marketing to really present plans to the
Nice.
senior level admins, to different campus partners, to university leadership as well, to speaking in front of all at our all staff meetings, making sure we're all aligned and we're just facing, difficult questions from time to time, like, oh, why did we do this? And it's because we looked at data, we looked at, different reasoning, or we want to create something new and, getting the buy-in from everyone on why we need to create new marketing strategies and all that. So
Yeah.
that was a big change for me too, just being in this role. But like I said, I wanted to really grow and continue on my career, so that's why I chose this.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it helps that it's your alma mater, so you kinda have
Yeah.
at least a little familiarity with the kind of the campus and life in that area, but, take us through as someone that's not really that I don't know CSUN, I'm not really, like, all in too involved or not familiar enough with, your college, but give us, like, a little promo or, like, a little, like, rundown of what CSUN is, and that athletic program.
Yeah, so with Cal State Northbridge, or CSUN as we like to call it here, it's really it's a mid-major in the San Fernando Valley, and if people don't know where the San Fernando Valley is, that's about 20 miles north of downtown LA. And it's really like a gem area because of one, you're still getting that Southern California weather. You're by the beaches. It's a 20-minute drive down to, either you want to go to Malibu or you want to go to Santa Monica, and you still have everything that, Los Angeles offers with the great food, the great culture, and all that. But what I found in just being a San Fernando Valley resident for the past, I'll say it's 12 years now. I was like, can't believe I'm saying that either too.
Yeah.
It's a great area just because there's so many things to do, so many activities, whether you're into nature, walking, just exploring museums, things of that sort. That's what we offer a lot, really, to the student athletes that are coming here that haven't really heard of Cal State Northridge or don't know what the
Yeah.
area is. It's actually the biggest CSU campus out of all the Cal States. We think there's about 22 of them, and believe CSUN is the biggest one. So when people come and visit our campus, they get to see like how nice it is. I'm sitting in the library right now, but it's a giant library that actually has a lot of film locations filmed on set, as well, just being close to Hollywood and all that too.
Cool.
The program I went into was great for to get in entertainment and in the Hollywood side. I think see some ranks in like the top 25 for TV production.
Cool.
Really, one of the reasons why I came here. My community college professor told me if you can't get into USC, like look at Seaside, because that's a great option too for TV production, and they have a good reputation here. A lot of great alumni that rose through the ranks here too, and got jobs in the entertainment industry.
Mhm.
And then also, I think a big part for what our recruits or what our coaches ask the student athletes or tell them about CSUN is they also have a business program here too. So it's still one of the best ones in the nation too. So yeah, the CSUN has a lot to offer here, and especially just like location. You really can't beat this, and think a lot of times too, the student athletes that come here are pleasantly surprised of like things that we offer here too. I think one of the major things that we're doing too here is like really upgrading our facilities too. We just got new hardwood floors on our arena, so the school's really doing a good job of just like uh, upgrading some of our facilities. And the other day they showed us what our new building is going to look like. This brand new building on campus where we're going to be housed in uh,
Cool.
with everyone here in athletics. So it's a lot of good things, a lot of exciting things too. And then we also just had I think, our best men's basketball season in like over 10 or 12 years. So it's a lot of good things happening here, and it's just hopefully continues to grow too.
Yeah, it seems like a hidden gem in the LA area, and, yeah,
Definitely.
me not being, too familiar, I've been to LA once and San Diego once, but that's about it
Yeah.
for California, but, it's cool to see that perspective and to, like, know about this, like, hidden gem of a university and now athletic programs like you mentioned is basketball's kind of on the rise with a 22-11 season last year, which is I believe fourth in your conference or fourth or fifth in your
Yeah.
conference, and then you got soccer already in full swing and golf. I think women's golf had a couple tournament wins this summer too. So it seems like you guys are kind of on the rise there in Southern California.
Yes, yeah, we're lucky to have the coaches that we have here too. It's definitely, winning is hard in any school. So it seems like the last 2 years we've been doing some of that too. So it's been great.
Yeah, and speaking of your department, I know there's a transition in your head athletic director. I believe you
Mhm.
have a acting one and
Yes, we
Mary
do.
Beth Walker. So, going through that, like, what's that like? I've never seen like a kind of an inside breakdown of maybe like a change in direction in a program. But what was that like with you being there and kind of now and the future?
Yeah, so honestly, I just always go with this model for my life. Like change is constant. So the better you are with change, the better you are going to be for your situation. So definitely like a shocker for us for when that news broke. But Mary Beth Walker, who's our interim athletics director, has been great, really navigating us and what we're trying to do and accomplish in CSUN athletics. And really nothing has really changed in the sense of what the marketing and ticketing side of my department does. We're really going with digital tickets this year, so really excited about that. So we're really just going into the forefront. I don't know if you only said you'd been to California one time, but if you ever get the chance, go to Intuit Dome for a Clippers game because that's all fully digital, and hopefully we get to be there one day with how they're using that app. You can just walk in the store, pick something out, walk out, and it's automatically charged to your credit card. Like it's
Wow,
some really like cool, futuristic technology things going on there. But
wow.
yeah, we're stepping into the digital age with going with all full digital tickets, working really closely with campus partners such as the University Student Union, associate students. So really, the transition really has been smooth and really has the background on Mary Beth Walker is also that she was the provost here before at CSUN. So she she came back for this role to help us out, and it really is helping us out in the sense of just like creating a highlight for athletics, and she really goes to the bats for us on all the meetings she's having with different university leadership. So it's been great so far. I think they're in the search for permanent athletic director, but
Mhm.
the boat's been steady rocking and, just getting things done here, so it's been great.
Yeah, no, that's really cool to hear and cool to get that insight of kind of a transitional period for the head of your department, and maybe hopefully she's the long term answer. You never
Yeah.
know, which could be cool. Kind of heading back into your current role as associate athletic director, you mentioned kind of the new age and like digital and technology kind of taking over and kind of the advancement of how athletic departments need to be and kind of going that digital route like you mentioned with the Clippers. And I heard about that. Yes, that arena I heard is insane and definitely a bucket list item for sure. But as someone that's head of marketing and kind of trying to get new events and new stuff going, how do you value long-term tradition? How do you value that long-term tradition, but also kinda keeping that maintain of like, "Hey, we need to evolve and advance."
Yeah, I think it's really just going in and diving into your audience and who they are and knowing that your audience can also adapt to and having trust in them. I think for us, there's a big hesitancy at first to go all digital just because, a lot of people still like, the paper tickets and going walking up to a ticket booth and buying their ticket. But, at the same time, we gotta look at the best ways to, one, generate revenue and, just cut some cost that's just isn't needed in every pro venue you go to, or even some athletic schools. Like shout out to UC Riverside, where I kind of first got this idea, but they also are all digital. And I went to a cross country meet one time, and they just had A frames up with the QR code and. Everyone, I just saw all the parents just scanning it, getting their ticket, and I'm like, okay, like
Mhm.
your audience can do, your customers can do a lot of these things. So it's really just looking into data, looking into what other partners are doing or schools, keeping up with on Instagram on things that are popping up. Even how we're recording this interview, I was like, I never heard of Riverside,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna look into that too because it just seems like a pretty cool way to do these types of interviews. So yeah, it's just keeping up, but really just diving into the data and just really seeing who your audience is and how they'll react to it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that site's great. Would recommend for sure. It's great for these conversations. But yeah, you just kind of have to advance and go with the times and evolve. And I think that's the most case that I'm hearing from people that I'm kind of talking with on these. And I think you just gotta kind of get with the program and get with that advancement. That's continuously. It's not gonna stop. So you gotta just do what you got to do and just always advance and always learn and grow. And I think that's been a great takeaway that I've learned from these. How do you target? You mentioned Instagram and kind of QR codes, but how do you target differently or the same to students or alumni or like donors or like just fans in general that are just trying to go to one game? How do you target those audiences differently and similar, I guess?
Yeah, that's a great question because with marketing, and this is what I heard when I went to a NACDA conference about 2 years ago, but marketing really plays the point guard of the team. So we're working with everyone closely. I just got a meeting with our social media team, but just collaborating with everyone. So, like you said, working with donors, working with alumni. We reach out to our alumni association every year. They reach out to us on collaborating on certain games to bring back the alumni. So, for instance, every year we do um, one of our men's basketball games where we call alumni fan night, and we collaborate with the alumni association and creating a ticket package for alumni to come by. They'll get a pre-party event where they get food and get a chalk talk by the coach and seeing our mascot. And it's just a great way to connect with alumni and seeing how the school is. And then also getting to watch the game after and enjoy it and doing all the fun activities during the basketball game. So it's a great way to connect that way, just really partnerships with, your current alumni association. And then with students, it's really about partnering with associated students, at least for the school that I'm working at over here that I can attest to, because they do such a great job of just like their social media pages, connecting with students during the entire semester, and then also providing different resources for the students to make sure they're having a good time here. They do this thing called Big Show for CSUN, and every year they get a big name artist. I think one year they got Steve Aoki. Last year
Nice.
they had another DJ too, and it's always like a packed out event for them too. So they do a great job there, and then also just emailing students, making sure that they know what's going on at CSUN Athletics, and then also Instagram too. Our guys that run our social media pages are really good. And then also thinking about just the different ways to create videos for our student athletes, because for me, in my opinion, that's the number one way to really highlight your program now is through video content. So it's like just can we create that, and the best way to utilize that. Luckily, we have student interns that are coming once the fall semester's here. So we're gonna have them help out and really just creating more Instagram reels, YouTube
Yeah.
Shorts, and TikToks as well too. So that's really how we target the students. And then donors, we really collaborate with our development team on them as well. And same thing for them. It's just creating more video content for them to see whether it's a given day, whether it's in help of donating for certain scholarships or NIL or what have you, whatever is needed at the school. So it's really just, in my opinion, just creating more video content for them and really tailoring it to what the needs are of the donors or what they want to see.
Yeah, no, it seems like you're hitting your target audiences and the
Yeah,
perfect spot. You know, the students are more social media based and online and stuff, and then your alumni events are or alumni is like getting them back and getting them on campus and having those events like you mentioned, and then donors is kind of a good mix because
yeah.
it's every age. So that's really cool, and I think that's going to be very successful, and I already know that it has for you. I want to talk about this event that you held last year, Matador Madness.
Yeah.
It was so I just read up on it a little bit, but it was a big event that I'll let you go into detail, but a big event that kind of had a couple of like 7-year hiatus, but you brought it back. Kind of go into that.
Yeah, so it was an idea that we got really from, just seeing that we need more of a rally type of school pride thing over here. When I was doing it, I remember this event too. It's like, oh yeah, why don't we do this event? And then for whatever reason, it just wasn't happening anymore. I think it was, weird time with COVID, and that they were just trying to get back on their feet. So me and my director of marketing, we really saw it as a challenge to bring it back. So we came up, luckily we had a great student graphic designer at the time, so she made the logo, she made the flyer. That really helped us with the t-shirt design because that was a hot commodity that day of getting the
Yeah.
t-shirt. We're bringing back the t-shirt this year, so we're excited for that because we got such a good response from it last year. But just bring back an event like that took a ton of work. The planning side of it took months to really make sure, we're working with the university and making sure we're working with the kinesiology department, everyone that's needed to be brought in, and really holding a committee together, committee meetings once a month with all these different people that were involved was a good challenge for me, and a good way to learn and just really how to lead a forefront, lead a team into creating an event like this. Me and my director of marketing, we were a little nervous going into it because we just weren't sure like what the demand was or what the
Mhm.
attendance was gonna look like. Like, oh man, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. Like if 10 or 20 people show up and all you could do is just hope for the best. Um, at these madness games or madness events, you want to have like a grand prize too. Luckily, we're able to get
Yeah.
offer a $10,000 half court shot. If you make it, you win $10,000. $10,000. Luckily, we're able to offer that and get the students excited for free food from Sharkies, Canes, and all that too. So a lot of cool free prizes. Northbridge Toyota came and gave out a $500 gift card to a lucky winner too. So just
Nice.
seeing all that, and creating like a pre-party event that day. Once we got to the day, we had the DJ out there and just getting a
Yeah.
lot of traffic in this area from campus, and it was just packed. We had both basketball teams there. Our cheer and dance team was there. A lot of students just coming by and saying hi. And
Yeah.
yeah, luckily we got almost 2,000 people there in the arena for first time in 7 years. So it was a great event. Happy that I've done it, and just getting ready to bring it back this year again.
Yeah, that's awesome. It seems like, kinda like a high school pep rally on steroids in a way
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
you're yeah, you're able to do it at a college. It's cool to see that too, that almost two or you said 2,000 students came by and, sounded like it was a great time, and I think that's what, kind of bigger universities need to remind themselves of is, like, they need to have stuff like that to actually bring the students back, and it's not just games and like, just go to games and stuff like that, but also that type of fun event to kinda kick off the year and kinda get them involved and get people excited about the upcoming seasons or whatnot, but I think that was a really cool idea, and when I saw that you did that, I was like, "Yeah, I definitely wanna talk about that because it seemed like a cool event for sure."
Yeah, and it's a free event too, so that's something that I hope the students appreciate because they during the first months of school, there's all these different events that they get for free called, Matador nights, where they go out to the University Student Union and get a lot of free things as well, and then spend time with their peers and
Yeah.
just all these different events. So it's really, I hope they value at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, for sure, and I think that was an awesome event that I, was fortunate enough to talk about, but going back into, your day-to-day or your job, how do you measure and how do you, define fan engagement?
It's definitely first it's attendance, really how many fans are attending our games. Like every year we're looking to increase that at least by 10% or more. Ticket sales as well too. We're looking to increase that by a certain percentage. Going with fully digital, we're helping that's gonna, help out in that forefront and also really putting emphasis on our social media page on selling tickets as well too. Like I said, video content's key. So we're just really gonna ramp up video content and then making sure, what fans can expect when they go to our games and seeing what we offer and how they can buy tickets as well too. Just make it easier for the fans to be aware that they can, come to these games and luckily we have over 100 and something events every year. So
Mhm.
fans always have a chance to come by, whether you're into baseball, basketball, volleyball. Luckily, CSUN offers 19 sports here, so you can
Yeah.
get almost whatever people like if you're a sports fan, uh, for cheap too. So it's definitely affordable compared to either other schools or the pro leagues where it's like 30, 40 plus more for a ticket. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely all those things, and then also just measuring, also just on how we treat, or for me, it's like how I treat our staff too. I'm big on leadership and leading the right way, just collaborating with my different teammates and making sure that they're doing well mentally. Because, like I said, working at a mid major, you run a really lean team, and that's all by design, right? I've
Mhm.
been used to being on lean teams before in different career paths or at my previous job. So you really got to be mindful of how people are doing with their workload and making sure they're not burnt out by the end of the year or during the semester
Mhm.
during the year. We go to at least 130 events, at night or during the day, and on top of our regular job too. I always say like once the season starts, it feels like I have two jobs because I have my regular office job, but then I also have the game event side and fan engagement job. Once we get
Mhm.
into the game, so it can take a toll if you're not careful or you know, if you're not taking the breaks that you need in between as well too.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it's go, 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 and, I experienced a little bit of that in the development office at KU, but definitely gonna experience more of that with ticketing
Yeah.
and, like, football and basketball kinda coming around. So, yeah, the engagement is definitely obviously super important is to get them there, get fans, donors, alumni alike, and, get them there and get them active. How do you keep them coming back and, like, following up after in a certain event like the Matador Madness or just stuff like that, you probably have to like review and maybe get some feedback. But how do you get them to re-engage and to continue to support your program?
Yeah, so luckily we use this ticketing platform called Audience View. So we that's our CRM really. So we go into that. find out who's going to our games and start sending emails really and just how what they thought, offer them free tickets for certain events as well. And then have them really be part of our ecosystem, whether we're having, special hospitality or special events that we're selling for season tickets as well. Like I mentioned, like the alumni fan night, they'll get emails about that too. And then also putting out post surveys too. I think that's one way that we found to get better at in just knowing what we're doing here at CSUN Athletics. So just knowing how an event went and just asking our fans to see what they thought of it too. So in
Mhm.
that way we can improve too. So yeah, just offering these surveys has really showed us like what we need to do and what fans do like so we'll know to keep doing certain things, certain games and all that. Yeah, luckily we have a good partnership with our Learfield rep here, so we have a lot of things that go on during our basketball games where fans get like free prizes and all that. And then certain game nights they'll have like different prizes as well too. So
Mhm.
yeah, luckily we have that covered over there.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. How do you go about, or like, how do you work, or you tie in your work with NIL and kind of the new age of college sports in a sense of like NIL opportunities and people donating or giving to NIL supporters? How do you work with that? How do you tie your work into that as well?
So being at CSUN, NIL really haven't dealt with it too much on the marketing side. Really the only way that I dealt with NIL or really is really the transfer portal. It's just the different athletes that come here as far as, other schools deal with this too, but just marketing them and finding videos or creating videos for our new student athletes or meet the new Matadors that we have every year. So that's really the only way that's really affected us. But yeah, not too sure really what the coaches deal with on that front. But from a marketing side, luckily, at least for me, it hasn't affected our operations too much. It's just really highlighting the different student athletes that we have here and best way to serve them.
Yeah, it's kinda weird 'cause it's still pretty fresh where, like, if
Yeah,
I'll ask something similar to other people, and it's just like, yeah, they're in it, like, 100%, like, they're fully in NIL or, like, they're, I don't know, like, still figuring it out, and there's still question marks and still, like, marketing, for example, I'm, like, maybe not into it as much, or maybe they're all the way into it, so it's cool to see different answers and kinda this transformation period of college sports into this kinda NIL surface. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I've just let it leave it to the coaches,
yeah,
leave it to the staff that knows it best, and I think that's pretty smart. I think just kind of a last couple questions here. I thank you for your time, Carlos. It's been awesome, and I appreciate you hopping on and creating a different lens for me in a sense, and in a California sense, and
yeah.
I'm in a school I'm not too familiar with. But what skills or experiences kind of shaped you to this role? Shaped you to get to that role, to get to your current role, and like what kind of those skills and experiences can others learn from, into getting into a similar role?
Yeah, so for me, really in high school, I had a great business teacher, and she, for one of our classes, we could take an internship. And this internship that was offered, she gave us a whole list of companies that were local in Orange County. But one of them was a congressman's office in the city of Orange, and she didn't always let every student get that internship because it's the congressman's office, and you had to really make sure you pick the right student for that. But luckily, I applied for it, and she said like I could go and do it, and that really shaped me in terms of just how to talk to people. Because if you ever heard for the people that work at the congressman's office, sometimes we get a lot of angry calls about just, different laws that are happening or different laws
Mhm.
that they don't want to be passed. So a lot of constituents would just call me and really like be pretty abrasive sometimes on just their tone. And I'm just over here taking their calls like
Yeah,
they're yelling at me, but that
like
really
a
shaped me.
17-year-old just
Yeah,
taking these calls.
yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, let me put you on hold and I'll get someone else here. But yeah, that really shaped me in terms of just how to deal with people when they're upset, they're angry. Because once if you can be calm in a situation like that, you'll be okay in most situations. Because once people really see that you're calm, cool, and collected, they'll back off and they'll doubt in a sense just calm them down as well too. And so that really helped me out in my current role. And then second, it's really just public speaking. I would say you definitely gotta know how to talk to people, but also be comfortable speaking in front of everyone as well. In my current role, had to present marketing plans to our external team members, which can be 10 to 12 people, and then also speak in a monthly all staff meeting, which can be, the entire department, so 80 to 100 people there. So if really people, and I'm an introvert at heart, like I would
Mhm.
rather just chill at home and not go out, most of the time on the weekends.
Yeah.
It's really knowing at me as an introvert. I really like the challenge. Like, okay, I really don't want to do this, but I know it'll make me better. So, just going out of your comfort zone and then really going out to seeing how you can improve. For people, I used to take this course called Toastmasters at Fox Sports. Luckily, they
Mhm.
offered it there, so that really helped me out with just with public speaking and confidence too.
Mhm.
So I would say anyone that wants to get better at public speaking, check out your local Toastmasters. They're a
Yeah.
nationwide group. They'll definitely help you with speaking in general, and then just
Yeah.
soft skills and to just talking to different people.
Yeah, it's an awesome perspective. It's like, it's the soft skills that are sometimes most important. And yeah, if you're in a situation like yourself, you gotta be able to speak to tons of people in a meeting or something and go over your marketing plans and having that confidence too. It's not just talking, but also having confidence in yourself and confidence in your ability and what you're talking about. So yeah, it's a unique perspective on that question. And yeah, that was awesome. Last thing here is, what would you say to someone looking to get into a marketing role like yourself, or like an associate athletic director for marketing at a university and Power One, or all the or Division One or Division Two or whatever? What would you say to them if they're in the shoes of like a college kid?
So what I would say to them is really just try to get an internship as early as you can, whether that's volunteering at your school's athletic department or just creating, reaching out to different sport leagues or different brands that need help creating their social media. I think that's one way to really get yourself noticed and get yourself some experience. Because everyone's looking for video content nowadays. So I was just talking to a colleague the other day about this too, and how he started was just going up to, different CEOs or different people on Instagram, just asking them if they needed video content and that they'll shoot it for them and all that. So that's one great way to doing it. And volunteering and just learning from people, asking them if they can shadow them for a day to, or reaching out to on LinkedIn and seeing like how they got into their role and seeing what their path was to. I'll say
Mhm.
that because most of the time people are willing to help. Like I would say 90% of people are willing to help out
Yeah.
someone and just telling their story.
Yeah, that's 100%. I'm learning now from all this kind of LinkedIn cold calling and stuff. But yeah, 90% of the people are willing to help and willing to be there and do the little, or do just the little advice for someone that's younger than them, trying to be them, or I'm just reaching out. I mean, it's always cool to have someone younger than you reach out. And even me, like as I've been kind of
Yeah.
starting this, I get people to reach out like, "Oh, how'd you start that?" Or how can I like kind of network in with these guys? And so I've been able to give some contacts to some of my friends and people that were below me at my college. So yeah, it's always good. It feels good too. It feels good to help someone out and help others is as kind of just the name of the game.
Yeah, so definitely what you did too. It's like definitely cold calling or just reaching out, like that'll help out a ton.
Yeah. Yeah. Carlos, thank you so much. This was awesome. I appreciate all the insightful information and kind of advice and guidance and a lot more information on CSUN and marketing in general, because that's not really my background. But thank you so much for hopping on. This was awesome.
Yeah, you too, Ryan. I really appreciate you reaching out, man. So definitely excited
Yeah.
to see how this turns out and all your other interviews too. So glad
Yeah. Yeah.
you thought of CSUN when you were reaching out. So appreciate that.
Yeah. I got a few out if you want to go check them out. But yeah, I'll
Is
for
it
sure.
public now?
Yeah. I got about four publics. So you can
Okay.
go
Oh,
check.
okay. Send me the link.
Yeah, I
I'll
will. I
check them
will for
out.
sure. All right, sweet. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Carlos. I'll keep in touch and I'll let you know when this comes out. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You too, Ryan. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. See ya.